Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're heading straight into the wild west of e-commerce sourcing. If you've been absolutely terrified of getting scammed by overseas middlemen, well, stick around because we're going to turn that massive fear into your ultimate superpower.
Look, we know the feeling. It's the ultimate beginner's nightmare, right? You hand over your hard-earned startup capital to some shady overseas middleman wearing a fake factory mask, and poof, your money just vanishes. Honestly, it is the #1 fear that paralyzes new sellers and keeps them from ever launching their business.
And frankly, that fear is 100% justified. Falling into what we call the middleman trap is totally devastating. If you're relying on unverified intermediaries, you're risking severe shipping delays, awful quality drift between your first and second orders, and a massive spike in returns. Plus, these middlemen need to make their own margins. That means they are taking a huge cut of your potential profits right off the top, literally before you've made a single sale.
Section 1. The Middleman Trap. High risks, low margins. We need to shift your mindset right out of the gate if you're going to survive and scale. So, to avoid this trap, think of it this way. I love this quote from our sources. Finding a solid supplier on Alibaba is basically like dating. You're looking for a long-term partner, not just a one-night stand. It's so true. You absolutely cannot treat Alibaba like a giant casino where you just pull a slot machine lever and hope for a decent product. You need a rigorous, bulletproof strategy to find a true manufacturing partner who's going to grow with you over the long term. Section 2. The 5-minute vetting script. The crucial point here is knowing exactly how to separate the real factories from the scammers. And you can actually do it incredibly fast. Okay, grab a pen because this step-by-step script is your magic weapon. You can literally expose fake factories in under 5 minutes. Step 1, always filter for trade assurance. This locks down your money in case things go south. Step 2, verify those gold supplier badges and dig into the reviews to check their track record. But step 3, this is the golden ticket. Demand a high-resolution video of them holding the actual product in their hand right there at the factory. A real factory will just do this instantly, but a scammer who just scraped photos off the internet, they'll panic because they don't actually have the product.
Section 3. Decoding supplier reliability. Let's look at how a supplier's response to your 5-minute script instantly decodes their true identity.
It's seriously a night and day difference here. A scammer or a middleman, they're going to dodge any specific questions about their factory location. They'll ignore your video requests and try to pressure you into paying for a massive bulk order right this second. But on the flip side, a real manufacturer is super transparent. They're actually proud of their facility. They'll gladly show you the factory floor, introduce you to the staff, and answer hyper-detailed questions about materials and production tolerances. Now, once you verify they're the real deal, you've got to track them over the long haul. You can use these exact service-level agreement benchmarks from our data to audit their reliability. You're looking for an order accuracy rate of 98% or higher, and an on-time delivery rate hitting at least 99%. Also, defect rates and chargeback ratios absolutely must stay under 1%. Why so strict? Because a high chargeback ratio from a bunch of defective products will literally get your payment processor suspended, and bam, your entire business is shut down overnight. Remember, consistency matters way more than just initial speed.
Section 4. Negotiating like a pro. Because finding a good factory is only half the battle. You still have to actually negotiate the deal without getting laughed out of the virtual room. 1,000. You're going to see this number absolutely everywhere on Alibaba. It's the standard minimum order quantity, or MOQ. Now take a deep breath and don't panic. Factories list a 1,000-unit MOQ specifically to filter out the tire kickers and amateur buyers. They just want to know you're actually serious about doing business with them.
So here is your exact strategy to talk them down to a much safer batch for your first run. First, you clearly pitch it as a test order. Ask for 300 to 500 units to start, and offer to accept a slightly higher per unit cost, maybe just 50 cents to $1 more, to compensate them for the smaller run. But here's the kicker. You promise quarterly reorders of 1,000 units or more if the quality holds up. You see, factories highly value the promise of a long-term reliable relationship over one single risky massive order.
Moving right along to Section 5, protecting your investment. Even with a great factory locked in, you still have to protect your capital and your ideas.
Listen closely. Never, ever skip the sample phase. You should initially contact about 5 to 10 suppliers, and then order physical samples from your top 2 or 3 finalists. Look, invest the $50 to $150 right now to save yourself thousands of dollars in mistakes later. Actually get those products in your hands. Test the durability, pull on the stitching, evaluate the packaging yourself. And when you finally place that official order, only pay through ultra-secure protected channels like Alibaba Trade Assurance or an escrow service. Now, if you're customizing products or adding unique features, strict legal vetting is an absolute must. Enter the NNN agreement. That stands for non-disclosure, non-use, and non-circumvention, and it is exactly what protects your brilliant ideas. It essentially guarantees that your newly vetted factory doesn't just turn around and sell your exact custom design to a competitor, or worse, directly on a marketplace themselves. Section 6. Scaling your e-commerce brand. As we wrap up this explainer, we really need to look at why this rigorous vetting process is the bedrock of a massive, scalable brand.
It all boils down to one simple question. Do you want to be a commodity reseller or a brand owner? Traditional dropshipping of generic items leaves you with basically zero control over the product quality or the unboxing experience. I mean, that's exactly why apparel dropshippers sometimes see fraudulent returns hitting 15% of their orders. But private labeling with a fully vetted, trusted factory? That's a real game changer. It lets you build defensible brand equity. You control the exact product specs, the premium packaging, and the entire customer experience, all the way from the factory floor straight to your customer's doorstep. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to take away today. The Wild West of Alibaba, it really isn't so terrifying once you hold the ultimate vetting weapons in your hands. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to let the fear of bad middleman keep you stuck on the sidelines? Or will you take this 5-minute video script, those SLA benchmarks, and some smart negotiation tactics and go build your e-commerce empire? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for joining this explainer. Now get out there and start sourcing.